Hi guys, welcome back and welcome in if you're new to the channel. So I figured I have some extra ribbon laying around from my Dior boxes, and I shouldn't say extra because I'm technically taking from those to work on a project. So my kind of box sets in my closet are no longer complete because I've used some of the rolls of ribbon on other projects. So I do still have some ribbon left, and I know it is after Christmas, but there's no time like the present to start crafting for next Christmas. So I actually picked up some supplies to make some Dior Christmas bulbs, and I hope they turn out, but I've not done this before, so we're going to try it together. So let me show you everything that I'm working with because it is a lot of supplies. So this is a huge bag full of stuffing. So this has come in a lot of my shipments. It is just the Dior stuffing. Let me see if I can pull one out without making a huge mess. Wait for it. Oh my goodness, they're so long. If this is one long piece, I'm in trouble. Okay, there we go. I thought maybe it was just never ending. So this is just the filler that comes in your Dior packaging. And so I'm actually going to try to use this in the ornaments that I bought. So I'm going to use this paper. So I have a lot of that. I picked up some glass bulbs. And now is probably a good time to get them because they're on sale after Christmas. I picked up some gold kind of thread. It's pretty thin. It's too thick to be a thread, but it's too thin to be a string. They call it cord, and it looks like it's already been opened. So hopefully there's none missing, but I'll never go through all of that anyway. So just picked up some gold cord. You are going to need a drill, at least for what I'm doing. I will need a drill. So I've got that. I've got my drill bits. I haven't decided on the size yet, but I'll show you what I'm doing with these. And then I did pick up some little wooden stars. I was really pondering on what would be the best option to get that kind of Dior star look. Of course, these will be thicker. However, I'm hoping they're going to turn out really cute. So I'll show you that, how I'm going to do that. I picked up some gold. This is just folk art. Oh, I caught it. This is just folk art paint. I picked this up at Michael's. It's usually at any craft store or any place that they sell acrylic paint. I do have my Dior ribbon, so I will be using that. A paint palette. I do have some gold leafing, so we're going to be using that. A couple paint brushes, some good old Elmer's glue. And then this next piece, I'm not really sure if this is going to work, but I'm certainly going to try. The text is definitely, the font is not correct for Dior, but that's okay because I'm not trying to get sued by replicating anything. But I do want to try to make the Dior across the star, so I'm going to try my best. Of course, this is not, I'm not copying Dior's anything. This is just a project that I'm going to try to make because I think it would be cute on my tree. I think what I might do is if these turn out well and you guys like them, let me know. Put it in the comments. Give a thumbs up on the video. If you're new, certainly subscribe. But I think that I might, if these turn out well, I might do these as a giveaway for you guys. That's everything I'm working with. Yes, that's everything I have to work with. So I'm going to flip the camera around and let's see what we can make. Okay, so the first thing I am going to do is put a hole in the middle of the star just to make it more like the Dior star, and I've never done this, so we'll see how well it's going to do. I don't know if it's going to splinter. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know how well it's going to turn out. But you know, you don't know unless you try. So let's see how I do. Okay, just putting the drill bit in the drill. Now, I do not want to drill into my table, so I think I'm going to sacrifice one of these paint holders here just so I have something to drill it into. And I think I just want to be a little safer and maybe tape that in so it doesn't move. So I'm going to grab some tape. Actually, believe it or not, I have some washi tape here on my work mat. I did put a work mat down on my table. It's just clear. Let's get that out of the way. So it's just a clear mat, but this way I can always protect the finish of my table. So I'm just going to tape this in, the star into the paint cup. So I don't really have any other wood laying around my house that I can sacrifice for this project, so that's why I am just trying to do it in my little paint tray here. So I just taped the star in. Hopefully that won't move too much while I'm drilling. Now, like I said, I've never done this, so we'll see how it works. It may not work at all. It may splinter, I really don't know. But I'm just gonna go slow. Okay, it broke through. Now let's very gently spin this out. All right. Oh, well, it's not even. It's not centered, but let's see. You know what? That's not too bad for my first try, and it actually went through beautifully. It didn't even splinter on the backside, so that's pretty darn good. Let's see, my angle is crooked, but okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. So of course we won't use that one. Let's try another. I want to get it nice and centered. And, you know, I did mark the first one with the center point, but once I drilled, I didn't drill in the center, so let's see. Let's mark this one. Okay, so that looks pretty centered to me. Now I know when I drill it, it may not be. So, I mean, if I have 500 stars that are not perfectly drilled, it's part of being a perfectionist. All right, so just taping that guy down in there. Just makes me feel better that it should not move. It may not move. Okay, let's see how well I can do with this one. So I'm trying to get that bit centered in there. Tip of the bit. All right, just kind of walk it around. All right. Okay, I feel like this one's not centered either. But I think it may do just fine. Okay, so there we go. There's that one. Now, what I'm planning on doing with this, because I want it to look like that Dior star, I did get gold paint. So let's clean up just a little bit, because I now have little bits of sawdust everywhere. And of course my garbage is across the room. So let's just make a little pile of sawdust. Okay. I just want a nice clean work surface for my paint. All right. Now I'm just going to paint this gold. So I did buy the gold leafing to go on top, but I figured if there were any places that the gold leaf doesn't adhere to, this should help mask that. Let me cut this open. All right, now, I'm so used to my garbage being right next to me, and it is not. Let's get rid of the drill. Okay, and I was going to put some in the little paint dish, but I think I might just dip the brush in the container. That's just one less thing I've got to clean up when I'm done. All right. Ooh, pretty. Okay, so let's just do that. I'm going to just dip my brush in here. Just get that gold paint on my brush. And then I'm just going to paint this star. Oh wow, yeah, that goes on nice and easy. It's already making a world of difference. Look at that, so cute. Okay, so I'm just going to brush this on. And I will do both sides, however, I'm going to let the one side dry. Actually, no, because I'm impatient, I'm going to paint both sides but I'll have to come back to do the sides when it dries. And I'm going to try to get the center too, because I'm going to just put that gold cord in there, and I don't want any of that wood to show through. I want it to look as finished and as clean as possible. Look at that, you guys. That is adorable. All right, so I'm just going to set that in my little paint tray here. We're going to let that dry. All right, so now I have to clean up my fingers because they have gold. And I've got to clean off my paintbrush so that doesn't dry on there. All right, so let me go get myself cleaned up. I'll be right back, and I will start filling the ornaments. Well, we're going to do one ornament. Okay, so we are back, and what I did was I just put the star on the tip of another paintbrush. That way I don't have to touch the sides while I am trying to paint them. So I'm just going in with that gold paint again, just on the very sides of the star. And this will most likely take 2 coats. I did do a second coat on the top of the star off camera. So I imagine that the sides will take 2 coats as well. Just cleaning off the extra bits of paint and knocking that off a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, so there's that. So I'm just gonna let that dry right there. And then come back and start the inside of the bulb. Okay, let's get started on the bulb. So like I said, I have never done this before, so we'll see. I'm hoping it turns out like I am picturing in my mind, but you never know. I don't know how easy this paper is going to be to work with. All right, let's put those extra bulbs down on the floor. Okay, so just a standard glass bulb. It does have the silver. I couldn't find gold. I did want gold, but I could only find the silver. It's not a huge deal because we're going to cover this with ribbon anyway. Well, that's my plan. Okay, so we're just going to pop that out, set it aside. All right, and then we're going to see how this works. So I'm literally just going to take this paper that I showed you at the beginning, and I'm just going to feed it into the bulb. There's always another option if I can't get this paper in here, but I definitely want to try this one first. Pretty full. Actually, you guys, I think I might like it like that. What do you think? It's actually quite cute. Yeah, I don't know if I want it to get too full. I like the spacing in there. Give it a couple little more turns. Yeah, it does not really want to accept much more. So I think, yeah, I think I might call it. Okay, now I did not bring scissors over. However, I do have a little cutter, but I really want to be careful. Actually, you know what? We'll just tear it because that piece is going to be underneath the metal anyway, and then I'm not going to accidentally cut myself. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That really does look adorable. And it took no time at all. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let's pop one of these silver pieces back on. So what I'm gonna do is actually let this bulb sit. Well, we could put the Dior ribbon on. And then I'm just gonna let it sit while I work on doing some gold leaf on the star. That is actually really cute. It did turn out how I wanted it to, so that's great. I love kind of like the little kind of bends and movement in the paper. That is so cute. Okay. So let's see. I got sawdust all over the ribbon. I didn't really think that through when I started drilling on the table. Okay, so this Dior ribbon is tall, but that's okay because we're going to put a bow on it. So let's see, I'm gonna have to get scissors for sure, but I think what I might do, because this ribbon is too tall, I think I might roll it under at the Dior there, just like that. So I'm actually gonna need my glue gun too, so I will grab my glue gun and some scissors to make my life a little easier. Okay, so I've got my bulb ready. We're just going to set that aside, and then I did just cut some ribbon that will fit on this bulb, and then I'm going to make a bow out of some more of my Dior ribbon. All right, let's see how well I do. I don't know. Not great at bows. Okay, so there's that. So that's gonna be our cute little bow. And then like I said before, because this ribbon is so tall, I'm actually going to have to fold this under just like that. I'm gonna fold it just under the Dior so it's shorter. I think I want that Dior to sit right actually at the back side, because let's make this the back side. So that way it's finished on all of the sides and it's gonna look really good. If I was to put the Dior on the front side, then when you put the bow on, the bow is going to cover up that Dior, and I don't want to do that. So just kind of thinking about the finished product. So let's wrap this around. So I'm just putting hot glue on the bulb. I'm going to take that ribbon right on around. It is still too tall, but that's okay because it's going to get that bow, and it's also going to help to cover up the hook a little bit, so that's nice. Okay, so there's that part. So I'm just kind of smoothing that ribbon around. I want it to look nice and smooth. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Put that hot glue on there. And then I'm just going to wrap that around. And I did pre-measure it before I cut, or before I folded that ribbon over. So everything should fit really nicely. Just making sure that that is nice and smooth on the bulb. Okay, so now we have that seam in the middle, and that's okay because we're going to cover it with a bow. So the side that says Dior is actually going to be the back side, so it's nice and finished on the reverse as well. Just looks a little nicer in my opinion when all of the sides are finished. Okay, so there we go. So we have that, and then we're going to take that bow and we're going to adhere it right to cover up that seam on the front. So let's put some adhesive or some hot glue right here on that seam. Blow off all that sawdust that I got everywhere. Okay, we're just going to attach the bow right there. All right. Oh my gosh, that's so cute, but we're not done. Okay, so it says Dior on the paper. And then we've got the Dior bow, even finished nicely on the back, says Dior. And then we've got to do our finishing touch, because in my opinion, this is going to make it look incredible. So our star should be dry. And then I'm just going to set our bulb in here. All right, so, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't gold leaf this. Let me gold leaf this because I think that's going to look good. You could just use it like this, but let's do our gold leafing. Okay, so we've got that. Let's pull off some gold leaf. And because I try not to be wasteful, I do have little bits of gold leaf still on here. Now, I probably should do this, you know, with tweezers or something, but it's such a small piece that I'm just going to take this little extra piece of gold leafing. I'm just going to lay that right on top, push it down. And then I'm just going to let that dry. Once that dries, we'll just flake it off with a brush. And then I think that'll be it for that. And then I do have one more thing I want to do to this star after it dries. So we will take another break and I will be back in a little bit. Okay, so we're starting to get there. Just a little gold leafing on there. All I'm doing is just getting rid of those extra bits of gold on here. All right, so there we go. Whoa, it's slippery little fella. Yeah, so that's the back side without the gold. So that's just painted. And then that's the front side with the gold leafing. So, you know, I mean, you could get away not gold leafing. That would be fine. And I'm not measuring, but I am going to tie it like they do when you get your Dior Gold Star. So I'm just going to take this through the center. And we're just going to run that through. And then we're just going to loop it. So running that through the hole. So I have the circle here. I'm sure most of you know how to do this, but just in case. So I'm just going to take this and then run that thread right through, or that cording. So there we go. Now it's going to hang just like a tiny Dior star. Okay, so I don't know if I like it or not. It was good until the R. R's a little off. Spacing's not great. I don't know if I love it. I think I almost liked it better before. You guys will have to let me know what you think. So I'm just going to affix that right there. So we have the little Dior star on there. So I'll just tie a cute little knot. All right, cute, cute, cute. Let's give that a little trim. All right, and there's our little Dior star. So I know that I certainly cannot sell this because I made that Dior star. It's not part of their product. I don't know if I were to make these without putting Dior on it, if I could sell them. I really don't know how that goes. So I think for right now, let's just be safe and do it as a giveaway. You know, I like giving stuff away anyway, and this way nobody gets in trouble. So, all right, I'm just putting a little bead of glue underneath the bow. Come on, little bead. There we go. Don't want too much because I don't want to make a mess. And then I'm just going to affix the little ribbon right there. Try to do this as cleanly as possible. Get any little bits of string hanging off. Ooh, if you see that, it's a piece of gold leaf stuck to the glue there. All right, and there we have it. So that is my little Dior ornament. How cute is that? Well, let me know what you guys think. And guys, we're getting real close to that 500 subscriber mark. And of course, we are doing a giveaway at 500, 750, and 1,000. And the 1,000 item is probably my favorite. So let's keep it going, guys. I really appreciate you. And to all of my Patreons, thank you guys so much. I can't wait to be able to place a Dior order in your name. So thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining me. And as usual, have a great day.